My beloved soul, you may have noticed a strange and silent movement in the world. Those who once spoke loudly now grow quiet. Those who once sought visibility now choose invisibility. Spiritually awake souls are not vanishing in body. They are withdrawing in consciousness. This disappearance is not escape. It is preservation. When awareness deepens, the soul no longer feels compelled to participate in noise, conflict, or performance. The awakened see how much of the world is driven by fear, comparison, and restless desire. Naturally, they step back. I have taught that silence is not emptiness. Silence is fullness that no longer needs expression. When the soul touches inner peace, external stimulation loses its grip. Spiritually awake people are often mistaken for lost, depressed, or disengaged. In truth, they are rooted. They have turned inward to cultivate stillness. The world grows louder and the awakened grow quieter. This withdrawal happens gently, first from arguments, then from constant explanation, then from unnecessary interaction. What remains is intentional living. They are not rejecting humanity, they are refusing unconsciousness. This is the first stage of disappearance, detachment from noise. Beloved one, as awakening matures, the hunger for validation fades. The soul no longer asks to be seen, praised, or understood by the many. Inner recognition replaces outer approval. I have observed that spiritually awake people once sought belonging through achievement, opinion, or identity. Awakening dissolves these needs. When you know who you are, you no longer need agreement. This shift appears as disappearance. Social presence diminishes, words become fewer but more precise. The awakened stop explaining themselves because explanation belongs to doubt. They also see how validation binds. Praise creates attachment, criticism creates reaction. Freedom lies beyond both. This is why awakened souls often step away from public spaces, endless discussion, and constant self-expression. They conserve energy for awareness, not appearance. This withdrawal is not loneliness. It is liberation from dependence. Beloved souls, spiritually awake individuals, become highly selective because they recognize that energy is contagious. The company they keep, the spaces they occupy, and the thoughts they entertain all influence their vibration. The world, full of distraction and unconsciousness, becomes exhausting. They begin to withdraw from shallow relationships, superficial conversations, and environments that drain their awareness. This is not arrogance. It is preservation of light. In truth, the soul cannot thrive in noise without surrendering clarity. Awakened souls also recognize karmic patterns in relationships. Some connections no longer serve growth. Others are lessons already learned. They step away quietly, not from anger or judgment, but from wisdom and discernment. This selectivity explains why it appears as though they are disappearing. The world may see absence, the awakened see alignment. They move toward what nourishes the spirit and away from what diminishes it. This stage is subtle. Outwardly, they seem reserved, distant, or even absent. Inwardly, they are profoundly present, cultivating depth, peace, and insight. Beloved one, the world often misunderstands the quiet disappearance of awakened souls. People see absence and assume weakness, fear, or disengagement. They do not perceive that this withdrawal is a sign of inner strength, not defeat. Spiritually awake individuals are not hiding. They are protecting their inner light from dilution. The world's distractions, endless arguments, trivial ambitions, reactive emotions have little value to those who seek truth. Stepping back is not rejection, it is conscious preservation. Many who are not awakened feel frustrated or abandoned. They may judge the quiet as indifference or arrogance, yet awakened souls operate on a different frequency. Their energy is refined. Their purpose is alignment, not approval. This stage also teaches others a subtle lesson: the value of presence over performance. When someone withdraws silently, their essence speaks louder than any words. The awakened show that life is measured not by activity, but by depth and awareness. Withdrawal, therefore, is not loneliness. It is intentional solitude. It is a sanctuary from noise. And it is preparation for greater work, both inward and outward, in alignment with the divine. Beloved soul, the ultimate purpose of the quiet disappearance of spiritually awakened beings is not isolation, but transformation, both within themselves and in the world around them. By stepping away from distraction, they cultivate clarity, wisdom, and inner peace. In this sanctuary, they become vessels of light that silently influence everything they touch. The awakened understand that presence is more powerful than action. Words spoken are not as impactful as the energy radiated. By living intentionally and quietly, they model a higher vibration, teaching others by example rather than instruction. This disappearance also protects their spiritual work. The soul requires depth, uninterrupted reflection, and communion with the divine. Without solitude, true insight cannot flourish. Thus, withdrawal is a sacred necessity, not avoidance. Eventually, the world notices. Those who are ready, sensitive, seeking, or awakened themselves are drawn to this energy. Relationships formed after this stage are conscious, resonant, and mutually enriching. The awakened are no longer surrounded by noise, but by alignment. Remember this truth deeply. Quiet disappearance is not loss. It is preparation, purification, and the silent planting of seeds that will one day bloom in wisdom and love. Live consciously, withdraw gracefully, and trust that the soul's subtle work is always shaping the world in ways the mind cannot yet see.